Hello and welcome. My name's Robin Holt and we are the Kitchen Design Experts. This is the channel that teaches you everything that you need to know about your kitchen and bedrooms and home offices. Now if you're thinking of having a peninsula or an island in your kitchen, I'm going to tell you about one small change that you can make that will absolutely transform the way that your kitchen is going to work. Now, worktop space is always a crucial topic whenever we are designing fitted kitchens, no matter how big or small your kitchen is. We have to give you as much worktop space as we possibly can and hopefully put it in the right place. Now, today I'm going to be focusing on the slightly larger kitchen. A kitchen perhaps that's big enough to take an island or a peninsula. Just to clarify those two geographical terms, an island is a bank of cupboards, of course, in the middle of a kitchen, in a position where you can actually walk all the way around it. A peninsula can be a similar size to an island, but it's actually joined on one end to either a wall or another run of cupboards, so it's only got three free sides. I'm going to focus in particular on the island with the images I'm going to show you. Now, one of the reasons that we do islands and peninsulas in these bigger kitchens is we're trying to create what we call a family or living kitchen. And we're finding many people are deciding to knock a wall down between two rooms or extend at the back to facilitate having this type of kitchen. And one of the main reasons we're finding this happening is that kitchens these days are becoming what we call multi-generational. What you might find is that you've got your son and daughter-in-law and maybe their children living with you at the moment. At the other end of the scale, you might have your mum and dad, the older parents, staying with you. And these kitchens, not only do they have to have enough worktop space, but they also have to have more than one section of worktop. So two people can perhaps be doing two different things at the same time. So I'm going to show you a list of images now. It's of a kitchen we installed in South Manchester in 2019. They are CAD, computer aided design images, and they will talk you through this one very simple change that we can make for you that will enable you to maximise the worktop space on your island or peninsula. Okay, here we go. Now, first of all, you've got to understand the term plinth and what a plinth is for. Now, you'll see the plinth at the bottom. Some people might call it a footboard or a kickboard, but it's the element at the bottom of your kitchen that is slightly recessed. Now, you might have wondered, why does every kitchen have a plinth? Now, there's a very good reason for having a plinth, and that is it's to fit your toes, especially when you're wearing shoes. Because if you were to stand at your kitchen worktop, and possibly you can just stop this video now and go and stand at your kitchen worktop, and stand in the position whereby you might be peeling potatoes or chopping carrots, and you're comfortable. Just look down. You'll notice that your toes are actually sticking underneath the cupboards into the plinth recess. In actual fact, if you now stood back so your toes weren't in the recess and tried to work at your worktop, you'd find you are leaning, and I promise you that within 5 minutes you've got a bad back. So that's the purpose of a plinth, and it's the utilisation of this plinth that I'm going to talk about today. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you is the plan, looking down on the kitchen that we installed. In this kitchen you can see that yes, there's a long run of worktop space with the sink underneath the window. There's a table to the right hand side. In the middle of the room is the island that we're going to be talking about, and in particular we're going to be talking about the end of the island that's nearest to the table. The hob is positioned centrally in the island. A lot of people like to do this because it looks good. There's a lot to be said for decentralising hobs in islands, but that's the topic of a complete new video. There's also a bar on the back of the island where at least 2, maybe 3 people could possibly sit. Now, we're going to be talking about worktop space. So the next image, we've coloured in the plan for you so you can see where the available worktop space is. It's in the mid-brown wood grain finish that you can see on this plan. Now you can see that the sink has got decent worktop space each side of it, but generally speaking people tend to use the worktop space to the side where the sink bowl is. The side to where the draining board is tends to be more for the kettle and the storage and the jars and things. The actual physical worktop space people use is usually to the side of the sink where the bowl is, and more in particularly around the hob. Now as you can see on the island is actually 2 metres long and approximately 1200 millimetres, that's 4 foot in all money, deep. And when you're stood at the hob with your back to the sink, the available worktop space each side of that hob is 600 millimetres. So you'd be stood at the hob and you'd have 600 millimetres, say, if you're stood at the hob, to the left hand side. Okay, it's not bad, but it's not great, and you can't do much preparation there. So if somebody's already using the worktop space to the right of the sink, where can this other person stand? Okay. Now I'm going to show you the actual perspective now of this kitchen, looking at the end of the island adjacent to the table. And you can see that now, as there is a cupboard on both sides of the island, there's a panel that goes down to the floor. You have to have the panel because otherwise you'd see the joint where the two cupboards meet. It works. This is how most people would design this particular kitchen, because there's a panel on this end and there'd of course be a panel on the other end as well. Now then, what can we do? I'm going to just take you back now to the last picture of the draft plan, and if you look at the worktop space near the end of the island adjacent to the table, you'll notice that we've got this 1200 millimetre space. That's twice the length of the 600 millimetres next to the hob. But we can't use that space because our toes will kick the panel, and we couldn't work there comfortably for any longer than 5 minutes. Now I think you can possibly see where I'm going with this. Here's the next image. This is the small change I want to make to your island. The panel that initially went down to the floor has now been lifted up so it's level with the cupboard doors, and we've introduced a plinth around the end of the island, which of course enables you to stand at the end of the island, and that worktop is 1200 millimetres wide by 600 millimetres deep. It's a superb work area, and now you can see straight away that somebody could be stood at the end of the island completely separately to anybody working on the sink run. It's a fantastically easy way of improving worktop space. I'll just show you another image how you can make it look even nicer. Rather than just having the flat panel, you could fasten 2 false doors on the end, so it looks like the cupboards run all the way around. It's amazingly effective and aesthetically looks so much better than just a flat panel. However, just a little tip, although I've shown this one where the false doors have actually got handles on, we attempted when we do this to leave the handles off, because we find an awful lot of people, because it's so realistic, think it's a cupboard and try and open the doors, ripping the handles off or their nails out, one of the two. So if you are doing this, just consider maybe not putting handles on there. So the final image will inhabit this particular design with some people for you, so it can be a good example as to what I'm trying to achieve. You've got the gentleman of the house, of course, sat there on his iPad enjoying himself at the bar. One of the ladies is actually standing where I think most people do stand preparing food, to the right of the sink. But straight away now you can see there's more worktop space that somebody can use on the hob island. So basically you've added worktop space to this kitchen by simply recessing the plinth. Seriously, it's so worth doing if you're thinking of having an island, or indeed at the end of a peninsula. Okay, that is one very simple change that you can make if you're considering having an island or a peninsula to increase the usable worktop space. If this is you at this moment in time, speak to your designer. If necessary, show them this video, because it's a tried and tested way of increasing valuable worktop space. Now then, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more of what we offer, please hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell. In the comments box below, Any question that you've got about your kitchen, kitchen appliances, home offices, studies, whatever, please make comments in the box below. We will answer them for you. And I hope, as I say, that you've got something very valuable out of this video. See you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.